What's really going on behind the scenes of BTS's latest video clip of Jin and actress Shin Se-kyung? Why did Jimmy Fallon look speechless for so long after watching the video? Is it true that Jin secretly brought Shin Se-kyung to America? Isn't this the first time we see Jin walking alone with an actress in a public place? No staff, no bodyguards, just them and a silent night in a foreign land? And why do netizens actually care about Jimmy Fallon's facial expressions rather than the content of the video itself? This is not just a rumor. This is perhaps the most personal and emotional moment of Jin, who has been known to be secretive about her personal life. The question is, what did Jimmy Fallon actually see in the video, and why did that reaction actually make things more complicated? Silence. The studio room, which is usually full of laughter and jokes, suddenly went silent when the screen was on. Jimmy Fallon, who has always been the center of the spotlight with his wide smile and his trademark laugh, is not laughing. He stared at the screen in front of him, furrowed his eyebrows, then glanced briefly at the crew. Is this real? The whisper was quiet, but quite audible to several people who were in the studio that day. And so, without another word from Jimmy, the video ends. But the feeling of curiosity is just beginning, and unexpected that during a visit to America to attend The Tonight Show, BTS's Jin brought more than just musical pieces. It carries a story. It brings something more emotional than the song itself. And the most surprising, it brings a person. That figure is Shin Se-kyung. It didn't take long before a short video allegedly shot by fans on the streets of Brooklyn went viral on social media. Jin and Shin Se-kyung are both walking without bodyguards, dressed in casual clothes, down a quiet night street. Their eyes meet several times. They laugh. Jin touches her hair nervously, and Se-kyung, somehow, smiles with a barely there look. Warm. Too warm for two people who are just mere colleagues in a music video. However, the furor did not stop there. The Don't Say You Love Me video clip, which will be released in a few days, began spreading its footage exclusively in behind-the-scenes sessions that had limited airplay for American media. The clip features Jin and Se-kyung playing lovers in a short drama format. The visuals are cinematic, intense, and surprisingly engaging, intimate. What made it all the more jarring was the way Jimmy Fallon stared at the video. His expression was blank, but clearly questioning. Many interpreted that Fallon had seen something, either too real chemistry, or maybe Jin's personal touch in this project that he was not used to showing all this time. "I've never seen a genie like that," said a journalist from Variety who also watched the screening of the clip. "It's not just because she looks romantic, but because he looks honest." In the final scene, Jin stares at Se-kyung, not acting. It was a feeling. And this is where the controversy begins. Netizens from all over the world began to question what exactly Jin and Se-kyung's relationship was. Is this just a promotional strategy? Or is there something more? Moreover, information about Shin Se-kyung's departure to America was not announced in advance at all. He is not scheduled to appear on the show or promote any projects there. So, why was he there with Jin? This question heated up even more when The Tonight Show's official account posted footage from the teaser of the upcoming episode, in which Jimmy Fallon simply said, "I watched something I wasn't ready for." That sentence immediately sparked tremendous speculation among the army and the South Korean public. And now, after new photos surfaced showing Jin and Se-kyung sitting on a small park bench, seemingly listening to each other seriously, that speculation has taken shape. It's not about professional relationships anymore, it's about personal relationships. The question now is, what really happened between Jin and Shin Se-kyung? Why didn't HYBE give any clarification? Are they deliberately allowing these rumors to develop? Or rather, they don't know either. In several previous interviews, Jin has said that he wanted to do something that really touches human emotions, even if it makes me look too personal. Is this video a form of that wish? And does he realize that he's not just touching emotions, but also open up space for speculation that he may never be able to control? Meanwhile, the reaction from fans was divided. Some are moved to see a new side of the genie that is more mature and open to emotional expression. Others were disappointed, feeling as if Jin was hiding something big, especially because of the involvement of actress Shin Se-kyung's classmate in this personal project without any official announcement. I am ARMY from 2014. But this time, I feel like I don't know Jin, wrote one fan on Twitter who went viral with thousands of retweets. Emotions were sticking. Many wonder, if this is just a music video, why does it all look so real? And why, of all people, the usually friendly and expressive Jimmy Fallon, does it look like someone just found out a big secret? While netizens continue to speculate, one question remains echoing in cyberspace. What did Jimmy Fallon actually see in the video? And if it's true Jin brought Shin Se-kyung to America to shoot more than just video clips, is this the beginning of something much bigger? Or is this the end of Jin as an idol who keeps the line between work and feelings? If it is true that all this is part of Jin's art project aimed at conveying his deepest emotions after a heavy period of military service, then why is no one prepared to accept that honesty? Dan, why Jimmy Fallon, the only person in the room who didn't know the genie, personally, was the first to feel that what he was watching, not just acting. What makes a presenter of world caliber fall silent not because of admiration, but because he is confused about what to say? What made the crew stop filming and let the moment flow unscripted? What exactly did the genie sacrifice for the scene? Is only his image, or his feelings too? And if true love is real, shall we accept it? When the video finally ended with a black, silent screen, the silence that hung over the Tonight Show studio seemed to leave something unfinished. Jimmy Fallon stared at that screen longer than he should have. Some of the staff began to exchange glances. The sound crew stopped the movement of his hand on the control device. The camera operator forgot to shift the focus. Everything freezes in no more than a minute, but it feels like an eternity. And in such a short time, everything that the public once believed about Jin, about the boundaries between idols and reality, began to crack. The moment is not over. Not on the screen, and not in the hearts of anyone watching. Shin Se-kyung, in a light cream-colored dress and hair left loose, is seen staring at Jin at the end of the video with almost teary eyes. "If this is goodbye, I wish you never said you loved me," she says softly in the scene. The sentence is not just a script. There's a weight in that voice. And Jin say nothing. He just stares back, then touches Se-kyung's cheek slowly before turning around and walking away into the quiet night street, full of dim neon lights. But is it really just a scene? Or is the video, somehow, an honest reflection of something that is already happening? The fans tried to figure it out. Fanbase accounts began collecting old photos showing Jin and Shin Se-kyung's interactions, no matter how small. They attended the same awards ceremony in 2017, sat next to each other in a photo shoot for UNICEF campaign in 2019, and, most surprisingly, were caught on camera backstage at a music event, where Se-kyung was seen greeting Jin first, but all that was not considered important. Just a small moment between celebrities means nothing. But now everything is being questioned again. Especially when one of the editors of Big Hit Visual Lab, part of the creative team that produced this video clip, wrote a cryptic comment on his personal account before hastily deleting it. "We were just following orders, but we were also crying while editing the last scene. Because we know it's not acting." And netizens exploded. The comments spread faster than anyone expected. Exclusive interviews with some of the production team began to appear, although most were anonymous. One of the LAMP team members says that they had to reshoot the hug scene 4 times, because every time Jin hugs Se-kyung, the expressions of both are too real. After the 3rd take, Se-kyung walked off the set and cried for almost 10 minutes. The question, why? Is it because the script is too emotional? Or is it because the scene actually brings to life something that has been kept tight? And does HYBE know all this? Or do they just co-compose this narrative with great care, wrapping something real in fictional packaging to minimize risk? Even more surprising, while in America, it wasn't just one time that Jin and Se-kyung were seen together. There was a report from a barista at a small cafe in New Jersey who claimed to see the two sitting together in a corner of the store, wearing hoodies and masks, but could not hide their laughter and warm body language. "We thought they were a regular couple, the barista said in an interview that was later deleted. But after knowing who they are, I still can't believe it. They look very comfortable with each other. And this is where the emotions of the fans begin to peak. Some feel betrayed. Not because the genie might love someone, but rather because all of this is done secretly behind the scenes, without a clue, then explodes like an emotional bomb in a clip that she says is just fiction. But there are also those who feel Haru. But HYBE's silence was not without echoes. While fans are busy deciphering the hidden meaning of the Don't Say You Love Me video, and netizens around the world are wondering what Jimmy Fallon actually saw in the tape, which may not have aired in its entirety, HYBE still did not provide any official clarification. Not a single statement, not even a social media post could be considered a response to this storm. Why? Why would a company as big as HYBE, who is usually nimble, choose to remain silent in the midst of the most viral topic in Jin's post-military career? Are they waiting for something? Or is it hiding something bigger? An anonymous source who claimed to have worked as a creative assistant for artist HYBE's video projects gave a surprising clue. He mentioned that the Don't Say You Love Me video project did not initially involve Shin Se-kyung. You're right. The female lead in this video, who is now at the center of all the discussion, was not the first choice. Initially, they wanted a Korean-American actress for the role, he said. But Jin himself asked Se-kyung. He said, "Chemistry is not something that can be built from scratch." The sentence was like an emotional grenade that exploded in silence. Because if it's Jin asking Se-kyung directly, then it's not an artistic decision. It's a personal decision. And in the K-pop industry, that's very rare. And more than that, there is much more disturbing. Shin Se-kyung finally opens her voice. But not through interviews. Not through the media. He chose a much more intimate path and mysterious. Through her Instagram account, Se-kyung uploaded a photo of herself silhouetted by a hotel window with a one-sentence caption that made fans' hearts stop beating. "You don't have to say love if you have to go." No name, no context. Everyone knows to whom these words are addressed. Comments flooded in. Some provide support. Some are just angry, but the majority confused. Because now, all questions boil down to one thing that cannot be avoided. Is this video a farewell announcement? Or is it precisely the recognition of love delayed for years? And Jimmy Fallon, he went back to talking. In a podcast that aired one day after the Tonight Show episode was taped, Fallon said something more inviting to Tanya. "I don't know what to say. But by the time the video finished playing, I felt like I was witnessing the end of something very personal. Like I just peeked at someone's last letter to their loved ones, but I shouldn't have read it." That sentence is cutting. Did I ask the video too honest for millions to watch? Did Jin deliberately make this project as a last resort to say things he couldn't say all this time? Many have speculated that the song Don't Say You Love Me is actually a farewell letter. But not for Se-kyung. Except for the army. For the world. For his past. And that this video, with all its emotional complexity, is his way of closing that chapter. But if that's what he meant, why did he choose to share the story with Se-kyung? Because there's no denying it. Their chemistry is too strong for just acting. The scene where they embrace in the rain, as Jin says in a quivering voice, "I'm afraid of losing you, but I'm more afraid if you only survive because of me," was a moment that brought many fans to tears in silence. "It's like it's not from a script," wrote a fan from Brazil. That sounds like a sentence he's been wanting to say for a long time. And now he says it through the screen. And here's what hurts the most. Have we seen the real genie for the last time? Because after the release of this video, Jin's schedule became mysterious. Some sources say he won't be appearing on any variety shows in the near future. He also reportedly refused exclusive interviews with several major media. The only activity HYBE has announced is she'll be on The Tonight Show. But even that is now a big question. Will Jin really be there? Or is it just going to show up on screen one last time? And if he comes in person, will Se-kyung be with him? And here's what really blew netizens away. There was news that Shin Se-kyung was also in New York on the same day as tapping The Tonight Show. It does not post locations, does not upload photos. But a fan who works as an airport employee claims to see Se-kyung get off the same flight as HYBE's crew. This truth has not yet been confirmed, but enough to light the fire of speculation. If they perform together, it's not just a promotional video clip, wrote one fanbase.